Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic centrifugal force. Yes. So, what is a centrifugal force? Is it is the same as centripetal force, but the only difference is centripetal force. We know that the object will move in the circular path. Here also, the object moves in the circular path, but when you are in that moving frame, okay, that is said to be the centrifugal force. So when you see with the just definition, you'll be able to understand this. The word centrifugal, which means flee from the center, so it does not actually move towards the center, okay, so it is flee from center. Centrifugal force appears to act on the particle only when we analyze the motion from the rotating frame. So, if this is a path where the particle is moving and this is where you are standing, yes, and only when you analyze from this, then you can say that that is said to be the centrifugal force. Okay, so centrifugal force is nothing but when you analyze the motion from the rotating frame. Clear? Next is with respect to an inertial frame. So what is meant by an inertial? So inertial means which is not moving. Inertial means which is not moving. So move ஆகாத frame அதுதான் என்னதுன்னா inertial frame. Okay, so which does not move. Okay, now with respect to the inertial frame, there is only what centripetal force. So move ஆகாத ஃப்ரேம்ல இருந்து நம்ம பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா என்ன இருக்கும், நம்மளுக்கு centripetal force மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். There will be only centripetal force, and which is due to what? Due to the tension in the string. As we know that whirling motion of any stone which is attached, that is due to what? The tension in the string. For this reason, the centrifugal force is also called as a pseudo force. Can you say what is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means which is false. So இது என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா இந்த centrifugal force false force அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. So it is not there, but it appears only when you are in that rotating frame. Pseudo force has no origin. So அந்த pseudo forceக்கு origin இல்ல அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. Okay, so this centrifugal force appears only when you just analyze from the rotating frame. Clear? So next is effect of centrifugal force. Although the centrifugal force is a pseudo force, its effects are real. So pseudo force ன்னு சொல்லிட்டோம், ஆனா அதுக்கு எஃபெக்ட் இல்லாம இருக்குமா? No, it has some effects. So let us see with some example. First example is when a car takes a turn in the curved road. So this is a curved road. In this curved road, when the car takes a turn, what happens is the person inside the car feels an outward force. So இந்த side போகும்போது when the person is moving along with the car, what happens? He experiences with a outward force which pushes the person away. So அந்த என்ன பண்ணும், அந்த பர்சனை அதுல இருந்து வெளியே மூவ் பண்ண வைக்கும், which pushes the person. This outward force is called as a centrifugal force. அந்த outward forceக்கு பேர் தான் என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா centrifugal force அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Okay, clear? So next is this is the diagram. So this is how any person who is moving in the car, this is general moving. So whenever a person is moving like this, they have two forces, is it not? So that is given by the normal force and downward the gravitational force, which is mg. So that is this diagram. Okay, so when you are considering the inertial frame, so inertial frame, as I told you, which is not moving, and this is when he takes a turn. Okay, so when he is taking a turn, what happens is in addition to the normal force and the gravitational force, there is also an extra force that is called as a centrifugal force. Okay, that additional force is called as what? Centrifugal force. Yes, clear? Next we have with one more example. In this example, just see that this is a person, that person is in the inertial frame. Okay, so the observer is in the inertial frame, so he is not moving and he is just viewing only with the particle which is moving. So this is a particle. This particle is moving in the circular path. So when this particle is moving, whenever you consider any object, that object has a normal force N and the gravitational force which is given by mg. is it not? And also, in addition to that, this particle, since it is moving in the circular path, it has a centripetal force. Okay, so that centripetal force is denoted here. Next is the observer in the non-inertial frame. So, non-inertial frame is this observer is also moving in this frame. ஸோ அப்படி மூவ் ஆகும்போது வாட் ஹப்பன்ஸ் இஸ் இன் அடிஷன் டு த நார்மல் அண்ட் த கிராவிடேஷனல் ஃபோர்ஸ் சென்ட்ரிபிட்டல் ஃபோர்ஸ் இருக்கும் அது கூடவே என்ன இருக்கும் சென்ட்ரிஃபியூகல் ஃபோர்ஸ் சின்ஸ் த அப்சர்வர் இஸ் இன் த நான் இனர்ஷியல் frame. Yes, clear? So centrifugal force is nothing but the observer and the object both are in the non-inertial frame. Clear? So next example is consider a person who is standing on the rotating platform feels an outward centrifugal force. So this is a rotating platform. So in this rotating platform, consider that any person is standing. So if a person is standing on the rotating platform, what happens is he feels an outward centrifugal force. So outwardல ஒரு centrifugal force இருக்கிற மாதிரி feel ஆகும். Okay, and is likely to be pushed away from the platform. So platformல இருந்து அவேயா போற மாதிரி feel ஆகும். Okay, many time frictional force between the platform and the person is not sufficient to overcome the outward push. So இங்கே ரெண்டு பேருக்கும் நடுவில் என்ன இருக்கும் ஒரு frictional force இருக்குமா between what platform and the person. So அந்த ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் நடுவில் இருக்கிற frictional force வந்து it is not sufficient to overcome the push. Okay, so அப்படி not sufficient இருக்கிறதுனால என்ன ஆகும்னா there is a chance for the person to fall. Okay, so அந்த person வந்து he may fall down. Okay, so this is how, so this is a platform and over which the person is standing. Okay, so here we have the normal force and the gravitational force. In addition to this, we also have a centrifugal force. Yes, centrifugal force is given by m omega square r. Now this person may fall down because there is an outward push here. Okay, so in order to avoid this, what is being done அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்மோட எட்ஜ் வந்து ஸ்லைட்டா என்ன பண்ணிருப்பாங்கன்னா it is inclined upwards. So see here, to avoid this the outer edge is little inclined upwards. So கொஞ்சமா upwardல incline பண்ணி வச்சிருப்பாங்க. Okay, which exerts the normal force on the person and prevents the person from falling. So அதனால அந்த person என்ன ஆக மாட்டாங்க, he will not fall down. Okay, so this is how it has been placed. Okay, and it is just inclined upwards. கொஞ்சம் incline ஆனதுனால என்ன ஆகும், the person will not fall. Here this is a normal force, this is a gravitational force, and this is a centrifugal force. Yes, clear with what is centrifugal force? Okay, then next is we have the difference between the centripetal and centrifugal force. This is very important question. First one, it is a real force. நல்லாவே தெரியும் centripetal ன்றது real force and centrifugal ன்றது என்னது pseudo force. Okay, and this is due to the external agencies like gravitational tension, normal force. இது எல்லாத்தினாலையும் இது வந்து it cannot arise due to the gravitational tension and the normal force. So இதனால arise ஆகாது. Okay, so this is the first one. This is a real force and this is a pseudo force. Clear? Then here this acts in both inertial and non-inertial frame. So inertial frame andalo non-inertial frame andalo centripetal force will act. We know here this acts only in the rotating frame, which is what non-inertial. Non-inertial la mattum dhaan namalukku vandu centrifugal force irukum. Okay, then next one is, then the next point is it acts towards the axis of rotation. So centripetal force pathina it acts towards the center. So center எங்க இருக்கோ அது சைடாக தான் போகும் எனது இந்த centripetal force or the center of the circle, axis of rotation or the center. It acts outward from the axis of rotation. So இந்த சென்டர் எங்க இருக்கோ அதுல இருந்து அவுட்வர்ட் ஆக்ட் ஆகும், அதுதான் என்னது centrifugal force. Okay, and this is given by F is here the centripetal force is F is equal to mv square by r, and here we have F is equal to m omega square r. Yes, and here it is real force and has real effects. Real force என்றதுனால real effects இருக்கு. Here it is pseudo force ஆனாலும் it has a real effects. The effects are real. Okay, so These are the next 3 points. This acts towards the center. இது வந்து outwards the center and the formula. Next, real force, real effects, then pseudo force but has real effects. Okay. Next is the origin of the centripetal force is a interaction between the two objects. So ரெண்டு object interact ஆகிறதுனால தான் என்னாகும் centripetal force may arise. Here the origin is inertia. It does not arise from interaction. Interactionல இது வந்து appear ஆகாது. Okay. So in the inertial frames, this inertial motion appears as a centrifugal. Okay. So inertial frameல மட்டும் this inertial motion will appear as a centrifugal. Okay. Then the last point is in the inertial frame, the centripetal force has to be included when the free body diagrams are drawn. So centripetal force என்ன பண்ணுவோம் include பண்ணுவோம். But here in the inertial frames there is no centrifugal. So inertial frameல என்ன ஆகுது centrifugal இருக்காது. Rotating frameல both centripetal and centrifugal has to be included in the diagram. Yes, clear? So these are all the difference between the centripetal and centrifugal forces. Okay, thank you.